Some of you are not going to agree with me. Some of these decisions are a little spicy.
땡땡 코코투.
Hi, welcome. My name is Angelina, and today we're going to be looking at Mnet Queendom 2's opening performances. That's right, I'm ready to take shit and take names. Wait a minute. So for those who don't know, Mnet is releasing season 2 of Queendom. Now, it hasn't technically aired yet. These are just the opening performances, but the official show is supposed to air March 31st. And it's going to be hosted by Girls' Generation Taeyeon, all of that jazz. You're welcome for the information, but anyways, I thought we could take a look at the opening performances and rank them from 1 to 6. And if you guys like this type of video, then we can go week by week and rank the performances together. I know it's a little spicy for K-pop fans to have their faves in number 6. And honestly, I was a little bit hesitant to do this because number 1, some of you are mean. But you know what? My dislike bar has been disabled, which honestly is for the better. So I'm really hoping and honestly asking if we could keep these comment sections, constructive. I assure you my opinion on a song that you like, my ranking of these groups are not going to change their lives and it's not going to change your life. So with all that said and done, let's get into it. We're going to be reviewing performances from Hyolyn, Brave Girls, Loona, Cosmic Girls, VIVIZ, and Kepler. And I'm really excited, so I thought we could look into the performances and see which ones really catch my eye the most based off of which performances am I most excited for whichever group. If you like this type of video, then we can go week by week and we could really dive into the themes and base my rankings off of the themes themselves. But for now, it's really just the opening performances. But before we get started, don't forget to like, comment, and share this video with friends you don't have. And I guess this is my official apology to boy group stans for slamming you guys for being the worst, because girl group stans, they keep on proving me wrong and making me look bad. Shit. I'm kidding. I'm not kidding, but it was a joke. In our number 6th spot, we have Brave Girls. So their performance starts out with a smoky dark scene where we're able to see their silhouettes. And then we move on to a scene that is illuminated by fire and orange tinted lights. And we see them in loose pants, cardigans, sparkly shirts, and fancy hats. It's very Michael Jackson, very reminiscent of the 80s. And I would say the sound is also as well. And then very excitingly, we start to hear a hint of the instrumental of Rollin'. So with that, we get a remix of one of their most popular songs, which I thought was very exciting. Now, unfortunately, someone does have to be in 6th place. And though I do find this performance fun and quite retro, I just felt like it wasn't quite diverse. As we look into the other performances, I'm going to talk a little bit more about that. But I would have loved maybe a little bit more singing, a little bit more variety. So for those reasons, I'm going to place them at number 6. But keep in mind, I really did enjoy everybody's performances. Moving to number 5th in our ranking, we have VIVIZ. So VIVIZ's performance starts out with a screen with butterflies and a text that says, "What do you call yourself?" before the 3 members join together and do some hand choreography from a bird's eye view. Then some funky music starts playing and they each individually do a small piece of choreography and panning the camera to one another. They eventually all come together as a trio and start doing choreography, and it's very funky as well. I definitely like the fact that concept-wise it was similar to Brave Girls, with the whole funky retro theme, but they still managed to make it different to differentiate themselves from them. I do have to say I preferred the parts of the performance where all 3 were together. Like the beginning hand choreography, I thought that was really nice, and then the ending together. I will say I think it's a little bit of a shame, maybe shall we say a little bit of a disadvantage for groups that are smaller numbers, or even the one solo artist. It is a little bit of a disadvantage to them because obviously they don't have as many members to fill up the stage. It's just a fact, if you have more members, you have more options for choreography. If you're just 3, you're a lot more limited. Just like if you're 1, you're a lot more limited. So like I said, the parts where they're doing individual choreography, I did find it a little bit more slow. And I did feel it was a lot more dynamic when they were all together. I still appreciated the variety they brought forth. They did different types of dancing. They brought us to different locations, so it wasn't quite boring. And I will say it was quite mesmerizing. So that is who is in our 5th place slot. Moving on to 4th place, this was really difficult. It was very difficult, and when we get to 3rd place, I'm going to explain to you a little bit more in detail why. But let's just talk about Loona's performance. So this starts with members crouched down, dressed in white with smoke surrounding them. And you can already tell from the beginning that it's going to be like ethereal, quite dreamy. Then they start dancing to the type of music you would expect with that setup. It's, again, dreamy, but also slightly funky as well. And I also appreciated the fact that they added some singing into this. I will admit, everyone who was like dancing and singing, I'm not sure that I could hear the live vocals. We can all fight each other to the death in the comments about this. There was only one instance of like actual live vocals that I could distinguish, and I'll mention that later. But as for singing and dancing, we all know that idols can perform with pre-recorded vocals as well as having their own live vocals mixed into that, if that makes sense. For example, they record the performance quote unquote live, and then they perform over that live track that's not technically live. But then an extra step to that is that you could actually be singing live alongside the already pre-recorded quote unquote live track. So don't come for me. I'm just saying I couldn't really hear much of a distinction between backup track, pre-recorded vocals, and actual vocals, except for one instance that we'll mention later. I know how you K-pop fans like to tussle, so I'm sure we'll meet again in the comments. But this is kind of what I mean by having more of an advantage when you're more members, right? Because they can tell a really nice story with so many people. They can move around in ways that just wouldn't work if you're 3 people or 1 person. So I definitely appreciated that aspect. It was beautiful. And they did bring a lot of intensity forth, in my opinion. So that is why they are in 4th place. In 3rd place, we have Kepler. So right off the bat, Kepler went right into the performance. We had a band theme going on with some chanting. I'm a sucker for that. It brings me back to like 2010, after school, bang. It's just so fun and energetic, right? And I really liked the energy that they put into this part in particular. Things did end up slowing down a little bit, but then they did end up picking it back up. And I think they showed some decent diversity within the performance. But what I think really brings up this performance is their energy. The reason why it ranks number 3 is just because, again, there were parts where it was like a little bit slow and I felt like it wasn't keeping my attention, but otherwise still a really incredible performance. In number 2, we have Hyolyn. So I know, here's the thing. I had the same exact issue when I was filming my reactions, or I don't even, did I film reactions? I don't remember. For Queendom? It was a long time ago. Fuck if I know. I remember specifically watching the performances and I was just like, you know, how am I going to rank a solo artist next to a group with like 6 members? Do you know what I mean? You're gonna make me rank a vocal performance against a dance and vocal performance. It just seems like it needs to be on a different level, a different caliber. Like they're both great performances. But what I think Hyolyn did was really bring forth the best of both worlds, and I really like this performance, if not love this performance. So her performance starts out in black and white, and we see some stripes cascading behind her before it goes back to color and she starts singing 9 Lives. Now after this segment, she dances to Dali. So it's really in this beginning part where we hear her live raw vocals. And this is different than when she's supposedly singing later, because we hear her mismatching with the backup track. Like we hear her actual voice, and I'm always blown away by her vocals. But this is the difference between being able to distinguish someone's voice from the backup track and not being able to, which I think the second half of the performance, you know, I wasn't sure if she was really singing. But right off the bat, we got the live, beautiful vocals front and center. It was very short, but nevertheless incredibly impactful. And then once she got that out of the way, she went straight to dancing. The one thing, again, the one critique I have is that, yes, I love this performance. However, I do have to admit the stage did feel like a little empty at times. But I was nevertheless incredibly impressed. I'm so excited to see what she brings forth in this competition, because she literally has it all. As an individual, she has the vocals, amazing vocals at that. She has the dancing skills. I mean, she was in Sistar. They were really known for both vocals and dancing in heels. And with her solo stuff, at least the last couple of years, she's been killing it energy-wise, mixing those very difficult vocals with that very difficult choreography. And I think this performance really shows that off. I feel like the ranking between 2nd and 3rd is going to be the most controversial. Because on one hand we have Kepler, and they're a big group. Of course their choreography is very dynamic, but not only that, I just find their energy really nice. You know, they were going really hard for the choreography, but then there were points where it did slow down. But then Hyolyn, you know, she's just one individual, but like she brought forth vocals, she brought forth, you know, dancing in heels on the floor, the whole shebang. So for me, second and third are really difficult decisions. If you're mad, make your own ranking in the comments. I'll fucking pin it, I don't know. Moving on to first place, of course, Cosmic Girls. This was not the hardest decision to make in the slightest. Like, no second thoughts. The first time I saw this performance, I was like, this is number one. Like, it's incredible. I was blown away. Their performance starts off in black and white, but in a kind of drawing filter. Then we have a member grabbing something before she goes to the stage and blows sparkles everywhere. And then everything turns to color again, which consequently turns into the most magical of scenes. We see the rest of the members on the floor doing choreography, and it's just really nice. Even not that long into the performance, I was just already sold. And honestly, I just feel like they were so in sync. The choreography was just so dynamic, and they brought forth magic, like so much magic. Not only that, they did a whole ass outfit change, which, by the way, I think something went wrong with like the filming of this, maybe, because like you could see them struggling a little bit to change their outfit, and I feel like there should have been more smoke or something. Nevertheless, they still killed it. They killed that outfit change. It came out of nowhere. I watched the performance a second time, and I'm like, are those outfits, like, are those outfits even made to be changed like that? I didn't understand it. But what really solidifies this performance for me is the fact that I did not want it to end, and I was so sad that it did. This group, though I don't know them that much, it just showed me how interested I would be to see where they go from here. So congratulations to Cosmic Girls for making it to my number one spot. I'm genuinely very excited to see what else they bring forth after seeing a performance like that. So that is basically it for my ranking. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you made it to this point without skipping, that I'm gonna ask you to leave. Don't leave, but wait for me to finish the sentence. I'm gonna ask you to leave a dancing emoji, whichever one you want. Leave a dancing emoji in the comments alongside your comment if you made it to the end of this video without skipping. And don't forget, you can also let me know your rankings down below as well. I'd love to see them. If you want to give reasoning or not, whatever, I'll try to read them as well. But yeah, don't forget to like, comment, and share this video with friends you don't have. You can also join my channel members by clicking the join button next to the subscribe button. These are the lovely individuals who help support my channel on a monthly basis. It honestly means the world to me. Thank you so much. As for me, I'm gonna see you guys next time. So, bye.